My friend designed and printed me mobility devices to match my cosplays. I often have to use a cane now, so having ones that match me at conventions means the world to me. These are beyond sick.
Back in the woods today looking for mushrooms, jars, bones, whatever we can find. And I got my companion, Brandy. Just found this rock and it has like some cool little pattern peeking out. I just found a stomped on mushroom, so I guess that's a good sign at least. Also, happy Earth Day, go outside, hug a tree, I don't know. I just found this guy and I'm pretty sure it's a false morel, so not edible. Put it back. Here we go. Tiny mushroom. Already doing pretty good. I don't know what this is, but it looks funny. Here's a different type of morel. People were wondering what I do with the mushrooms. You eat them. We fry them personally, but I'm sure there's different ways to make them. Look at all the fossils in this rock. I'm not liking this. Those are shoes. Okay, I guess they're just soles. There's no shoe. Here's a little buckle that probably went with the shoes. I found a bottle. Okay, this is gross. I'm gonna guess this is from the 60s, but I have no idea. Here's an old Canada Dry bottle. Another old thing, I don't know what this is. Sometimes people comment, like, how do you have the motivation to go outside? I'm gonna be honest, when I was in middle school, I was always in the woods because I thought I'd find a fae prince or something. And now I just love the woods, so. These are delusions for the betterment of yourself, is what I'm saying. Mushroom. Pretty flowers. I'm gonna make a bouquet while I'm out here. I think it's about to rain, so I'm gonna go inside. Here's my little bouquet. Didn't get many mushrooms, but that's okay. Bottles. Meow, 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 meow.
If you needed any more proof that Spider-Verse is amazing, here's a detail you might not have noticed. Hello, my name is Zach. I'm a character animator who hasn't stopped thinking about Spider-Verse. So the first movie was revolutionary because it utilized a technique called animating on twos, where you're animating a new pose every 2 frames, which was basically unheard of in animated movies at that time. The animators would selectively use this technique to showcase when Miles Morales was out of step with the other Spider People. So coming into this movie, you have the understanding that the Spider People are moving on ones, which is 1 new pose every frame, or 2s. Now this is where it gets really cool. Across the Spider-Verse introduced a character called Spider-Punk, who is an anarchist, nonconformist character. I saw an article that said it took the animators about 3 years to animate Spider-Punk. Having worked in the animation industry, it was probably more that they did trial and error for 3 years to get the style right. In any case, they knew they had to do something different with Spider-Punk. So as an animator, how do you demonstrate that this character is completely outside of the system like the other Spider People are? The answer is that you animate him on a different frame rate than the other Spider People that isn't 1s or 2s. So instead of animating him on 1s like Miguel O'Hara is here, with every new frame being a new pose, or animating him on 2s like Miles Morales is here, Spider-Punk is actually animated on 3s. So look, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. He's not even conforming to the frame rate of the other character.
These are fiddlehead ferns.
In game, they look like this.
Fiddlehead ferns are seasonable forageable in Stardew Valley. They're also real. And they're also poisonous raw, so we're gonna have to blanch them. Fiddleheads blanched.
So this recipe calls for oil, fiddlehead fern, and garlic.
Garlic?
And oil. But we're gonna need a little more than that. So let's start by sauteing the fiddlehead ferns and adding another Stardew Valley forageable, morel mushrooms. And now that'll make our risotto extra special. So we got our arboreal rice in, mix it in with our goodies, hit it with some vegetable broth, and then we wait literally forever, just stirring the pot, quite literally. Okay, I just snuck out to get some parsley and some basil, and now we're back, stirring the pot. It's all coming together. Bicep now has biceps. Let's get some of that heavy cream, and some Parmesan cheese, and whoa! Now look at what we've got. A gorgeous fiddlehead fern risotto. Oh my gosh, I cannot say that 10 times.
You are not in danger. You are not going into battle. You are crocheting.
Gandalf had a deep-seated hatred of White Claw as a baby, and we were never quite able to figure out why. To be clear, she did not have a problem with cans, she had a problem with White Claw cans, specifically. Gandalf even had what appeared to be varying levels of contempt for the different flavors of White Claw. For example, Gandalf hated Black Cherry White Claw. Black Cherry was her arch nemesis, and she would go to tremendous lengths to ensure the downfall of any Black Cherry White Claw that had the misfortune of crossing her path. By contrast, Mango White Claw was treated with a little bit less violence, although she was still very, very consistent in her disapproval of it. Watermelon White Claw, understandably, is where it started to get weird for Gandalf. I'm not going to say that she was intimidated by it. I'm not going to say that she, had a healthy respect for it. She was kind of perplexed by it. Didn't really know how to act when it was around, but, would give it a good whacking when she saw fit. I also want to point out that of the 5 kittens, she was the only one who did this.
This is how I spend my life, singing old songs. What if I waste my life, and all my problems so stupid, not even problems. And it was supposed to snow for a minute.
Hey guys, I'm in the Amazon rainforest and I just found this patu bird. He was sitting in the middle of the road, so I had to move him. I'm out here looking for a 20-foot anaconda, but it's easier said than done. Check out this wandering spider. Boop. Oh, he almost got me. That bad boy is deadly, and so is this little guy. I wouldn't recommend holding him, but isn't he so cute and tiny? Check out this pink-toed tarantula. This guy is so pretty. This is one of the biggest cane toads I've ever seen. Check out this Mac Daddy. I found a baby anaconda. Boop. I want a bigger one. Ooh, smoky jungle frog. Yoink. He's definitely not very happy with me. Ooh, check out this coral mud snake. Yoink. These guys are a rear-fanged aquatic snake, just mildly venomous. Check out this giant waxy monkey tree frog. Sometimes they wear cowboy hats around here.
Let's get it. Start off as if you're drawing straight hair. Whatever you want your locks to look like. Once that's done, lower opacity. This is your sketch layer. Then box out the sketch layer. Get used to boxy shapes like so. Feel free to add more. Whatever makes it look cool. Lock in good. Erase unneeded lines if you want. So now you've got some base dreads. You can stop here if you want. Optional. But you can rip the boxes to create texture. Personally, I like this better. All done.
Look at us, you and I, back at it again.
I'm about to ruin your day. Y'all remember at the very beginning of the movie when the other mother is making this doll look like Coraline? I sat looking at these tools for a second thinking, man, those look familiar. And I can't really place why. They look like surgical tools. Now, my grandfather and my dad are both funeral directors, so this ringing a bell was not a comforting thought for me. That's because those are not sewing tools. Those are 18th century embalming tools. Autopsy tools, funeral directing tools, tools that are used for the deceased. I mean, you can see so many of these tools actually match the ones that are in her case. And many of these kits used to be foldable kits, right? Same as hers. Something else, why does she have a bone saw in her sewing kit? If the woman is just making dolls, right? If she's just sewing, why would she need a bone saw? I'll tell you why. Did you know that after you pass away, your clothing is actually cut off of you? Yeah, that's the next step in the embalming process. Your clothing is cut straight down your back. Yep, just like this. So we've got a set of embalming tools. We've already got the back of her clothes cut up the back, and right here, we see her mouth is cut open and there's cotton inside. I don't know if y'all know this, but cotton has actually been used in funeral directing for hundreds of years. It helps with maintaining mess, with soaking up fluids, trying to keep smell out. Sawdust is also another one that has been used since the mummies have been around. Because I know there was a lot of debate in the comments about why is it that one was made with cotton and one was made with sawdust. Turns out they're both used in embalming. Here's another support to my claim. Right here, when she's threading the needle, what does she start sewing? The mouth. And she's sewing it what? Shut. Yet another part of the embalming process. It's called mouth closure. Your eyes and your mouth muscles relax when you pass, therefore they need to be sewn shut. Are y'all with me? Do you see where I'm going with this? Because this entire time we were watching this scene thinking that this woman was just making a doll, right? When in reality, the other mother was counting on Coraline not making it. So therefore, this was her preparing Coraline for her own funeral.
It started as a rough idea. A sugar jar that opens and closes automatically. After some practice attempts, it got better. This is the internal mechanism. The final product.
My coffee steam. Like, doesn't it have to be at like 100 degrees?
This is very annoying, so just get ready to hate everything I'm about to tell you. Temperature is just speed of molecules, so faster molecules are hotter molecules. But temperature is also the average speed of molecules. Some are going to be going faster and some are going to be going slower, and the faster ones are going to be able to leave the surface of your coffee. And that's actually how your coffee cools down a lot, is that the hottest molecules leave. This is actually easier at the surface than it is inside of the coffee. So it's easier to leave from the surface than to boil inside. Those extra hot molecules are going to leave, and they are now going to be water vapor. But that's not what you're seeing. Water vapor is invisible. It is a clear gas. If you see pure steam coming out of a steam pipe, what you're going to see is like wiggles of heat, no like cloudy, like you're in the shower. Those hot molecules from the coffee are coming out and they're mixing with the cooler air in the room, and then they're all getting together to condense into tiny droplets. And that's actually what you're seeing.
Hello? I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good, I would call her.
I have spent countless nights obsessing over this Spider-Man, so now you're going to suffer with me as we do another character design analysis on the Spider-People from Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, starring a boy who would eat, pray, love his ass into your house if you pronounce it chai tea. Pavithar's design is so fucking cool because it has all these references to Indian culture, and you're going to sit down with me while we go over all of them. For one thing, let's get out of the way that he has all the signature Spider-Man colors of red and blue. The markings along his suit are supposed to indicate his spider insignia and a script that is very similar to Indian text, much like the white markings along his face that also indicate a bindi, showing that Pavithar is Hindi, so I thought that was a cool detail. By the way, I apologize if my pronunciation is fucking garbage or if I don't define any of these terms correctly. But of course the references to his culture don't stop there, because he's also sporting a pair of dhoti or blue trousers that are commonly seen on Indian men. Now traditionally I've noticed that these trousers look more like, well, trousers with an extended sash going down towards the middle. But like the other spider people, in order to make his suit more practical and more athletic, it's tapered and cut to look more like shorts, which I think is also supposed to be a reference to Indo-Western culture, so like a combination of Indian and Western sensibilities. And if intentional, it is also a really good way of connecting back to Mumbai, which is a combination of Mumbai and Manhattan. The Indian bangles are also a clear homage to his culture, aside from being very nice and contrasting well with the colors of his outfit. Because gold is supposed to be a symbol of purity and eternity, so much to the point that it's actually connected to a goddess by the name of Lakshmi, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that by the way, plays an integral role in the lives of Indian people because it's supposed to bring about prosperity and wealth. So I greatly appreciate that he is so fucking dripped out in his suit. It's almost like as if he's wearing this lucky talisman on him whenever he's going out and fighting crime, which I think is also just a great way of tying back to his personality. As we know, Pavithar is very lighthearted, happy-go-lucky, kind of goofy, upbeat, and has shown to be quite studious. And just looking at the first few details of his suit in this analysis alone, you can tell that he really loves his culture. To the point that unlike the rest of the Spider-Man, his mask doesn't actually cover his full head completely. As mentioned in the film, he's very proud of his hair. It's a product of coconut oil prayers and genetics, and is one of the few honest depictions I've seen of Indian hair in animation. It's a really small detail, but I rarely ever seen like honest depictions of Indian hair being curly and wavy, and really freaking thick by the way. So to see this on a young Indian man who has clearly Southeast Asian features such as the rounded cheeks, the soft round kind of square-shaped jawline, with the flat rounded nose, it just makes me very happy. But something else that is so fucking cool about his design is his unique weapon. After doing a lot of research, as you'll see on screen right now, I found out that this is a damaru, which is a small drum that is depicted by Lord Shiva as being a weapon in order to create spiritual wavelengths. This also greatly resembles a diabolo, which just basically looks like the drum but with strings attached to it. But I just think this is such an interesting way to show how important Pavithar's faith is to him. That's it for today's character design analysis. Leave me alone, I'm doing Miguel O'Hara tomorrow, but let me know how I did in the comments and I'll see you tomorrow.